answer the questions in my head when they're answering them. And I also thought it would be a good way for, you guys to get to know a little bit more about me. But yeah, so let's get into it. Okay. Never have I ever copied someone else's homework. I 1,000% have. I don't think I did in college, but I remember when I was in, I think I was like 7 or something, but I got in trouble because I was copying someone's homework in class, and I think I got a stern talking to from a teacher. So yeah, never have I ever lied to a friend to get out of a hangout. I 100% have. I wouldn't say like full lie, I just like told like a little white lie. And not anytime recently, but definitely when I was in like middle school, I just would say like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, my mom said I couldn't go. And I definitely pulled that pulled that card a few times. So never have I ever punched someone. I have not. I have not. No, I have never punched anybody, and I've never been punched, thankfully. So yeah. Yep. Never have I ever said I love you and not meant it. I don't think so. Maybe when I was in like high school with my high school boyfriend, I may have at one point, but I don't think so. I think I've always been pretty upfront about that stuff. Never have I ever kissed a stranger. I have only once, but I have. Some of these are crazy. Oh my gosh. Never have I ever used a fake ID. I have not. I feel like a lot of my friends in college did. I just never did. I was always a bit older. But also I just never was super into drinking or doing anything like that until I was like 21. So I was pretty on the straight and narrow. But yeah, no, I never had a fake ID, and I certainly never used one, but I knew people that did. Never have I ever walked into a glass door. I 1,000% have. Many times. I can't remember a specific incident where I did, but I can assure you that I definitely have done that before. So, yeah. Never have I ever eaten something after just dropping it on the ground. Yeah, I definitely have. It was never like anything. It was always in my home. Like, not in like public places. I would never. I'm actually a really big germaphobe. But I definitely have at my house. But yeah, I think that's the only time. And it wouldn't be like on the floor for like a very long time, but just for a few. Never have I ever gone viral for something super embarrassing. I actually have. I don't know if I would say I was like super viral. I think it had like maybe 130,000 views on TikTok. But for me, that is very viral. But for a lot of people, that's not that much. I made a TikTok about One Direction. I actually made a couple TikToks about One Direction. I think this was back in celebrity, not really. I met a couple presidential candidates, or no, just one. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been in the same vicinity. I was like in a similar area to a couple of celebrities, but I cannot remember for the life of me. Yeah, I don't know. But no, none that are like memorable, at least. I think I saw a couple from afar. I know that when I was like 12, I made my friend, if anyone remembers, Bethany Moda. She was like a super, super, super famous like beauty lifestyle influencer. And she had like a collaboration with Aeropostale, and I made my friend go to the mall and try to meet her, and we did not meet her. We were like one of the last people, and we were too late and we didn't get to meet her, but we did get to I think she might have high-fived us, so that was pretty cool at the time. But yeah, no, I don't think I've met anyone like super, super famous. No. Never have I ever sang karaoke. I definitely have. Yeah, I love to sing karaoke. I did choir all throughout high school and middle school, and I just love to sing. Yeah, so I do karaoke pretty much any chance I can. I love karaoke, but most recently I did like a Halloween party with some of my friends. And it was like the first time I was meeting a bunch of people because I had come from out of town, and they all just got to hear me be really obnoxious and sing. So yeah, sorry to them. Never have I ever been in a car accident. I have been in one car accident. It happened about a year and a half ago. And it was horrifying, and it technically was my fault, which was super depressing. But basically I was making a left turn, and the light was yellow getting ready to turn red. I was in the middle of the intersection, and what I think happened, and like, no, not that she's ever gonna see this, but no shame to the woman that hit me. Like, it was determined to be my fault, so I take the blame. But she, I think, sped up to beat the light, and I thought she was gonna stop, and we just went. So we got T-boned, and it was really scary. I was fine, she was fine. It was really just very terrifying, but we were all safe, no injuries. I went to not the ER, but the urgent care like the next day to like make sure I didn't have like a concussion or anything, but they said I was fine. So, but I think they gave me muscle relaxers because I did have a lot of muscle pain, but it was, for the most part, the only things that got injured were my car and her car. So, yeah. Never have I ever re-gifted a gift. I actually never have. I think this is just my opinion. probably alone. I guess you could say I was, traveling by myself at that incident. But yeah, I traveled to a state like late last year, and I was completely by myself, and but I wasn't like, I was meeting friends, so it wasn't like I was gonna not have anybody there. And then I flew from Switzerland to the Netherlands by myself, but I met my friend there, so I don't know if that really counts. But I've flown several times by myself, but I don't know if I've never done a like full like solo trip by myself. But I would love to. I think it would be really fun. I just don't know where I would go. You guys have any suggestions? Let me know if you've ever traveled solo. I'm gonna do a few more. Never have I ever been on TV for an embarrassing reason. No, I don't think so. I mean, I was. The only time I can think that I've ever been on TV was, and I wasn't really on TV, was I went to a, like, political, like, it was like they were interviewing all the candidates for, I can't even remember what it was, frankly, but I was there, and the back of my head was on TV, so that was kind of cool. But I really wasn't on TV, but no, I don't think so. Never have I ever created a fake social media account. Yes. When I was in like 5th grade, me and my friends created I'm like just remembering this now. Me and my friends created a fake Instagram account to like follow this boy that like I think I had a crush on, or my friend, I can't remember, but we made this Instagram account because we wanted to see if like we used like a fake pic, how like back in like the catfishes will like take a picture of like a pretty like teenage girl or whatever. We were just like testing him to see like if he wanted. It was so dumb. Don't do it. That's so dumb. But I definitely did that with 2 of my friends, and it was really embarrassing, and I wouldn't do it now, obviously, but I was a kid, so I'll give myself a little slack for that. But yeah, never have I ever worn something I took out of my dirty laundry. 1,000%. Not underwear or like anything like that. That would be disgusting. Or socks. But I definitely have reworn pants. But I feel like that's okay. If if there's nothing on them. If I've only worn them once. I don't think there's much harm in that. Unless you like did a lot of strenuous activity. Like physical like exercise or whatever in them. I don't think there's anything wrong with re-wearing a shirt once or twice. Or pant 2 or 3 times. Never have I ever peed in a bowl. Like, genuinely, who hasn't? I would love to know, like, if you have never peed. Okay, that sounds like a little creepy, but, like, seriously, like, I mean that facetiously, but, like, I cannot think of one person, like, I think everyone has done it at some point. Not now, like, not in my adult years, but, like, when I was a kid. I think, a lot of kids did that. So, I don't know. hungover. Not super bad. I really try to drink a lot of water when I'm like drinking alcohol. But I definitely, when I was living in Europe, I definitely had a pretty gnarly hangover one day, but it wasn't like too bad. I just had like a little bit of a headache. But that was probably the most I'd ever drank in my entire life. So it was pretty crazy.